Alright guys, how's it going? HonestScents here, coming back with another video. I just want to start off and preface this video with a tremendous amount of gratitude and thanks to anyone who watched and whoever provided feedback for me. It was really helpful to read your comments, and thank you so much. I've been away, so we're coming out with another video, and this one, as you can see, Acqua Di Gio from Giorgio Armani. So a little story and background about this product. I picked this one up a bunch of years ago. It was probably my first cologne. Obviously a smaller bottle. It wasn't that much older than a high school age, and decided to try it out. Picked up a smaller bottle, and as you can see, ran through that and got a bigger bottle, a 3.4, and have been pretty much running low on this one for a while. And I'll explain why. Basically what we did was we got this a couple years back, and I really liked it. I really enjoyed it. Not to spoil anything for you guys, but my mind has changed over the years as my nose, grew and matured. I'm going to admit that I think my taste has changed from this scent, but we'll get into it right now. So as you can see, I have two of the sizes here. There's also a 6.7, a big daddy bottle. Ginormous. Don't see a reason to purchase that one, but if you want it, go for it. It is running you about over $100 for that one. These will be close to that, and the smaller one being around $50. In terms of the presentation, really nice, clean, cloudy glass with a little bit of the writing and Porolm on the bottom. Just a little tidbit that I thought would be nice to share. People are worried about fakes. This one is definitely a attention grabber if you're thinking about buying it on eBay or things like that, where I purchase a lot of my fragrances, where I'm going to hopefully upload a couple videos about how to buy on eBay, how to scam the scammers, and how to get the best price available. These were purchased from FragranceNet or Perfumania, one of those websites. And one thing I noticed is both bottles, if you flip over the bottoms, you can see that both labels are the same direction. They're perfectly centered and both facing upwards, meaning they're upside down when you flip them over. If they're facing you and you flip them over, both letterings are upside down. That'll be for every single Acqua Di Gio bottle. And that's a good way to determine fakes. Number one, it'll be off-center, the sticker on the bottom. Number two, it'll be facing you when you flip it over, so you'll be able to read it. Now I cannot read it. If I flipped over the bottles, then I'd be able to read it. As you can see a little bit better here, the numbering is now readable. So that's just a little hint there if you're looking to determine if yours is a fake. Another one, obviously, the caps. They got to be able to be sturdy. This is a quite old bottle, so it's pretty worn out. It still holds up pretty well. This one is pretty good. This is a newer bottle. So to get into the smell of this thing, there's a lot of lime in there, and there's a lot of lemon and C notes, whatever that means. Probably just salty notes and a couple of florals. Overall, what I get from this now, and what I didn't get from this originally, is a very soapy scent. I got originally fresh citrus, and I guess over the years on my shelf, it's been dwindled down to a more salty, soapy note that it's more artificial smelling. It doesn't smell like the ocean or an aquatic anymore to me. It smells a little old and worn out. I keep my fragrances in the dark, on a top shelf, away from sunlight, trying to preserve its longevity of the actual juice. There's a great video from Doc on how to preserve your fragrances. I don't have a fragrance fridge. I'm not that intense, but I do keep these sort of safe and out of the sunlight, which I know can be harmful to the juice. And in terms of longevity, this thing, obviously, it's a workhorse, as everyone probably knows, 6+ hours. And it's good for any season. It's good for most seasons, if not primarily the summer and spring, maybe fall. Winter, not as much, but I could for sure see you wearing this to a classy event to that. But I'll tell you, for my personal taste, as I was younger, I did appreciate this a little bit more. Now that I'm older, I have more a mature taste, a more mature nose, and this doesn't appeal to me as much. This has been sitting here at this level for about a couple years, probably 2 or 3 years. It's been sitting here, hasn't gone down. I stopped using it as much. As you can see behind, I've got a couple fragrances on the list of to-dos. I've got a bunch more on the shelf to do. And that was pretty much the entire review for Acqua Di Gio. It hasn't been reformulated to my knowledge. It smells the same as it smelled many years ago, unless it went over a couple reformulations over its lifespan. But I do get this alcohol-y, salty kind of vibe from it. It's not pleasant. I don't love it. It used to be my favorite. It's dropped down a couple slots in terms of its popularity. It's obviously very popular, but for me, I don't see the need to have this anymore. There's so many good aquatics out there now. There's so many well-made products that you can buy, and especially things that you can get for cheaper. This is a popular one. I do want to make a reference to Jeremy Fragrance and to other YouTubers again for pointing out that Acqua Di Gio Profumo, which was a recent release, that actually I've smelled in stores, and it actually smells really, really nice. It has a little bit of the genetics of this one with added spice and a couple of mature notes, and it definitely does not appeal to as many teenagers as this does, and that's a good thing for us because that means that less people will be wearing it, less people will be ruining it for everyone else. The only problem is it's also more expensive, but listen, it's a really good smell, and I'm hopefully going to be picking that one up soon. So in terms of that, and also I wanted to do a review on what I call the Bulgari Man, which I think is a very similar smelling smell to the Profumo Acqua Di Gio. I think one of the perfumers of Bulgari Man was somehow involved with Acqua Di Gio for a while, but I'll look into it more before I make that video. So just a quick summary of Acqua Di Gio. Many of you may not like what I said, but just trying to be honest. And I think that this thing has gone down over the years in popularity. I think that that's for good reason. A lot of people have it. A lot of people wear it. That's one reason for it to not as popular anymore. Another reason is it kind of, from my experience over the years, has dwindled. Juice life is very short on this one, and it could smell a little old to you. The notes can get a little unmixed, as they say, not as blended as well anymore after a time, and it's not one of these things that would last a long time on the shelf. So if you're going to buy a new bottle, maybe use it as fast as possible, use it as often as possible without getting sick of it. But that's my 2 cents about Acqua Di Gio Giorgio Armani's Por Homme for Men, and leave a like, leave a comment. I'd like to hear anyone else disagrees, agrees. What are your comments about Acqua Di Gio? Something similar that you found that maybe is not as well known with a little twist here and there. Please subscribe. Peace, boys.